Welcome to my channel, Outside the Levees. I'm Jared Serenay, and today I'm hunting oyster mushrooms with my family. Then, Francois is going to cook up a cream of wild mushroom soup. Let's get it started. What are we going to do?
Get mushrooms!
You ready, Mama?
Ready.
Yeah, I seen it.
Huh?
I seen it when you pointed. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get to them.
They're right there.
Yeah, I see it.
There they are.
All right, watch out, Jack. Watch out, Jack. Duck, 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 duck. That's the game you gotta play when you're shrooming. Hold on. Look at all those too, Mama. Part of it. Dodging trees while we do this. All right, hold on. Jack, you could probably go get these. Oh yeah, those are good ones. What's that, Jack? All right, let's see. Okay, y'all start taking them off. Pull them off. Good. Do we need the knife? Yeah, we're probably gonna need the knife.
Where does this go?
All right, Mama, the knife is right there with the red handle.
Where does this go?
Do you want me to film?
Yeah.
Where does this go?
Where you want me to put it?
Hold on to it, okay?
What's that chest?
The gray one.
This one goes in the gray one. Can you open this gray one for me? Why do you need the knife?
It just gets them off a lot better with the knife.
I like
Go put them in the ice chest.
Let me see, Jack.
open it. It's so big. This one's small and this one's big. Yeah. I want to get
Oh, here's a pretty one. Watch this one.
Can I get it? Can I hold it?
Oh, look at that.
That's
A beautiful, fresh oyster mushroom.
That's super duper big.
Now these are kind of old.
Yep.
They've been out here a day or two. So we're gonna leave those. We know they got plenty of fresh ones around. Some more back over here. Oyster mushrooms, you just wait for a foggy day in the fall. After it's been cool a couple days, it warms up, gets foggy, and oyster mushrooms come out. Look at those, Jack. Those are good ones.
Can I hold them?
Yeah, let me,
Then I can put them in there.
where's my knife? Holy cow, Jack.
That is wait, some fell in the water. Can I hold it?
That's what you're looking for.
I'm gonna hold
They
it.
grow in a shelf
I'm gonna hold the big
on
one. I'm gonna hold the
dying and decaying trees. All right.
Show me the mushroom, Milo. Milo, show me.
Yeah, we were gonna go deer hunting this morning, but with all the fog, you know, we didn't feel like that'd be a safe boat ride, and it probably would have been a waste of our time. It's really warm, and deer tend to just kind of move around at night when it's real warm like this. So we did the next best thing, which was to come find some oyster mushrooms. Oh yeah, those are good. They'll be all right. Just be careful, that knife is sharp. Let me get you in place. All right, there you go, Mama. All right, Mama's gonna hand them to y'all, and y'all gotta put them in the ice chest, okay?
Yeah. Give me some, Mommy. Oh, that big old one. Yeah, that one. That one. I like this.
Milo, you want one?
Good bad one.
Yeah, go put it in the ice chest.
My turn. That's the last
There you go. That's the last
All
one.
right.
Good job, Jack.
My turn.
Oh.
Okay. Let's.
So, we're going on an evening hunt or what?
Let's see. Oh yeah, these will work. These will work. That one's got a little mildew on it, so we'll take him, get him out the way.
Yeah, I wanted to throw him in the water.
Yeah, see, he's got a little bit of mildew on him, so we'll go find some other ones.
Down there, far away.
a little bit of mildew. See, I could probably cut that off. That's all of them?
No.
The water's surprisingly good.
What?
Put them in the ice chest. Let's go find some more.
Alright, Captain
They adding up.
Captain Sir.
Alright, I just spotted these from a distance because they're growing high on the tree. But I'm gonna leave them and I'm gonna show you why. They're just a couple days old. You know, you can see how they're droopy, kind of brown. You wanna find some that are fresh, like we've been finding. So we're gonna leave these here, but I just wanted to show you what some of the older ones look like so that you're not picking those. But as you can see, this is a dead willow tree, dead up to the top, and oyster mushrooms. So that's what you're looking for. Dead willow trees. Alright, there's a couple good ones. Watch out, Jack. I gotta put them in the ice chest.
Daddy,
Right, there's some good ones.
do you put one in the water?
Oh, I don't want to put any in the water.
But I said, no, my best that tropical
Good ones.
It's not a good one. Throw it. You can throw it.
Wait, in the water?
Yeah, just throw it. This one's got some mildew. You can put that in.
Hey! Yeah!
You might see some back on the ride back home.
Look, it got rock.
So if they like real pretty white on the bottom, that's the best ones. The freshest one. Yeah, that's a real good one. I mean, we gotta rinse it, but
Yeah.
Mommy, I don't know
Lots more. Ooh, look how pretty that is. The light.
I know my sticks. I'm a bigger stick.
Oh, very high.
I'm gonna get them.
and look, these have stems, okay? So we're not gonna pick those. I need to find out what these are, if it's just a different variety. But see how these have stems, where the other ones are growing pretty much on the tree. Alright, so notice how these have a real, like, pronounced stem. The ones we've been picking don't. So I need to find out a little bit more information on these. I have seen these before. It could be oysters, just a different variety. But I'm not gonna pick them, and I want to just get some good angles of them so we can maybe find out exactly what they are. That's the thing, you know? And look, see, yeah, see, they even have, it's a total different style of mushroom. So. All right, well, that was a pretty productive trip.
Yep.
We weren't even out here very long, just kind of going along and finding them little by little. You know, they add up real quick, and before you know it, you got enough to eat. So we're gonna head back. It was a beautiful day. All right, well, we had a good time getting mushrooms. Francois and his kids actually went yesterday, the day after we went, and they got some more. We've been thinking about a good cream of mushroom soup since we started doing this foraging stuff, and finally we got a chance. We finally got some cold weather coming in, so it's gonna be a good cold weather dish. and Francois is gonna cook a cream of wild mushroom soup. I'm gonna get back behind the camera and let him do his thing. All right, brother.
Got it. All right, so we're gonna start this soup with a stick of butter. To that, we're gonna add a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Point being, we don't want that butter to burn, so we want it to melt and get that butter flavor without burning. So we'll raise the smoke tip a bit with some olive oil. While that's getting melted, we'll get some onions chopped up. We're saving the ends and the scraps here, as always, for stock. Nothing goes to waste. Always onions first and then garlic to avoid burning and getting bitter garlic. All right, everybody's coated. We're gonna salt at every step, so we'll make sure we have a little bit of coarse salt. We'll add some pepper now too. Been sauteing about 10 minutes now. We add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Onions are getting translucent. We don't want to break them down too much, so now we're gonna get a rough chop on this garlic and get it in. The size of this garlic doesn't much matter because break down a little bit and then get pureed. So, all right, we got 4 or 5 cloves of garlic going right in. Starting to get fragrant already. This time is another good time to put in a bit of fresh thyme. That wasn't intended. We'll lower this heat a little bit and start prepping some of these mushrooms. The mushrooms are going to be holding a lot of moisture, so we'll get them into a rough chop here. Get those guys in, add it in stages so they don't all release their moisture at once and sweat the pan out. Jared and I have been talking about doing this particular soup for so long. This summer we spent a good amount of time foraging and got picked some chanterelle mushrooms. They grow around here, and mainly in the summer months. And with this recipe in mind, I saved some, sauteed them in olive oil, and that's what I have there in that bowl. All right, so now we have, I'd guess, about 6 or 8 cups of mushrooms that we've chopped, just a rough chop in here now. Like I said, they contain a lot of moisture. So what we're gonna do is let them cook over a medium heat. They'll release some of this moisture, let it cook off. Once about 10 or 15 minutes has elapsed, we'll be able to get these chanterelle mushrooms in here and then move on with making the soup. These oyster mushrooms are looking right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add these chanterelle mushrooms in and get them back up to temp, warmed up before we deglaze this pan. All right, these mushrooms are up to temp. Next step is gonna be to deglaze the pan. You can accomplish that with any number of things. I'm choosing to use a sherry today. We're choosing about half a cup to a cup of a nice sherry. We'll let this cook off a little bit. The next point, we're going to be adding roughly equal parts of flour to the fat that we started with. So about 8 tablespoons or so, 10 tablespoons of just a white all-purpose flour. This is about the right consistency here, where I have these mushrooms, this flour absorbed, this liquid. We'll work on building this soup now by adding stock. So the stock that I have today is just a homemade game stock. You could use chicken stock, vegetable stock, beef stock, anything like that. Before the soup gets too thick, what we'll do is we'll take it off of the heat and run it through the blender to puree it before this flour and stock set up, now that everything is dissolved. All right, we'll get these mushrooms and some of the stock into this blender. All right, folks, please be careful when you're blending super hot liquids. We'll keep this lid on and start nice and low. Perfect. Get this guy back up on the heat, temperature up. Let that flour do its magic, thicken this soup up, although it's pretty thick already. Once we get it to a nice bubble, we'll leave it there for a minute or two, and then we're ready to go. The only thing that's left here, because it wouldn't be cream of mushroom if there was no cream, so we'll be adding some cream. Everything else in this recipe is highest quality, so we're gonna go with heavy whipping cream here. So all that's left now is just a salt and pepper to taste. Some fresh ground black pepper. It's right.
What you got going on in there?
Dude, it's right, man.
You know, it's funny when we tell people that we harvest wild mushrooms, you always get all kinds of responses. Of course, like, oh, you know, you're getting high and this and that, and it's not about that. These mushrooms are pretty easy to identify, especially once you get out there and you lay eyes on them. You'll see how easy this can be. It'll be a good idea if you want. Go ahead and do some additional research. Look up on YouTube, look up on Google. Try to understand what you can about oyster mushrooms, but I promise you, they're well worth it. We went in a boat. I'm sure there are plenty of places where you could walk in the woods and find them. It just adds another dimension to things you can do hunting and fishing wise to get food for the family. Let's try it out. It's gonna be, what, in the 40s tomorrow?
It's gonna be right.
Dude, I'm gonna put a hoodie on, sit outside with a big bowl of this and use.
Yep.
All right, well, that was our first Foraging episode of Outside the Levees. If you liked it, please subscribe. Please click like on the video. And if you like these, we'll keep pushing more. See you soon.